Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your 2016 annual meeting. Your attendance shows that you care about your cooperative, and we appreciate that. CTEC is an electric distribution utility that is owned by the folks it serves. That means your cooperative answers to over 22,000 member owners who democratically elect your board of directors. The mission of your co-op is pretty simple. Keep the lights on at prices members can afford to pay. And here's the reason I believe we're achieving that goal. You're now paying less for your electric service than you were 5 years ago. This is a direct result of teamwork by your board, management, and staff over the past decade. We realized then that reducing the cost to purchase power, which is our largest expense, was the best way to help our members keep their monthly electric bills stable. Today, the average household, using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month, pays less for the same amount of electricity than they did 10 years ago. And by negotiating favorable power contracts going forward, CTEC and its members are well positioned for the future. As this graph shows, if you use the same amount of electricity that you are using today, your bill will remain stable for the next 3 years. Power supply has always been and will always be a central point of focus for your co-op team. I'm very proud of where we are today and what we have done for our members' best interests in the future. Now here is the 2015 financial report.
Every year, your board of directors selects an independent firm of certified public accountants to audit the cooperative's financial records. The audit period is from January 1 through December 31, 2015, and was conducted by the firm of Bollinger, Seegers, Gilbert, and Moss of Lubbock, Texas. The complete year-end financials for Central Texas Electric Cooperative can be found in the annual report that was included in your August issue of Texas Co-op Power magazine. You were also given a copy of this financial report when you registered this evening. Here are highlights of certain important figures from those reports. We experienced positive, manageable growth in 2015. The co-op added 632 new meters, which means that there are now a total of 38,728 meters connected to the system. 41 miles of new electric lines were added to the system, which now totals 6,333 miles of overhead and underground distribution lines, and over 69 miles of transmission lines. The utility plant in service increased in value by $6.1 million and now totals $207 million. This increase was due to construction of new lines and upgrading existing lines. Our 2015 net margins were $4.16 million. $1.2 million of that was paid to the members in the form of capital credits. This closely matched the 2014 payments, which were by far the largest retirement of capital credits in the history of Central Texas Electric Cooperative. Here is a breakdown of how 2015 revenue was spent. Power costs represented the largest expense, which was almost 56 cents of every revenue dollar. Operations and maintenance cost was about 21 cents. Depreciation of the co-op's assets accounted for just over a dime. Margins last year accounted for almost 7 cents. Interest expense last year accounted for a little less than 6 cents out of every revenue dollar. At year-end, the equity ratio for the cooperative was over 40%, the highest it's ever been. This means that you, the members, own more of the co-op's assets than ever before. We're also proud to announce that we prepaid the federal government's Rural Utilities Service more than $54 million in outstanding debt, with funds borrowed from National Rural Utilities Cooperative Finance Corporation, or CFC. The decision to become 100% funded by CFC will save your co-op between $2 and $3 million over the next several years. It also allows CTEC to conduct everyday business promptly and efficiently with less government red tape. Central Texas Electric Cooperative is in excellent financial condition. Looking forward, your co-op's equity should remain strong with rates that are very competitive and stable.
During the past 20 years, Central Texas Electric Cooperative has more than doubled in size. What once was a traditional, small distribution electric cooperative is now a modern organization with almost 40,000 meters. In order to service this growth, your electric co-op has made substantial additions and upgrades to our system. We now have substations, transformers, and thousands of miles of electric lines that cross some of the roughest terrain in the state. These investments are exposed to the sometimes wild and destructive weather patterns of Texas. Maintenance and repairs are ongoing efforts. In 2015, CTEC had more than 125,000 poles in our system. Last year, as a part of our ongoing maintenance, we inspected 8,500 poles, and of these, over 1,100 were replaced. Also last year, our crews rebuilt 83 miles of existing lines with new wire and, where needed, new poles. Some of the larger projects include: in the Ingram area along Highway 27, 1.5 miles of primary line were replaced, as well as 41 poles. In the Lower Crabapple Road and Stone Ridge area, 1.8 miles of line were upgraded with 60 new poles and 41 transformers replaced as part of a voltage conversion project. In the Willow City area, 14.1 miles of line were upgraded with 210 new poles and 81 transformers replaced. In the Oxford area, south of Llano, 4.5 miles of line were upgraded and 75 poles were replaced. In the Llano and Bluffton area, 2.7 miles of line were upgraded with 60 new poles and 22 transformers replaced. In the Platten Creek area, north of Sisterdale, 1 mile of line was upgraded with 23 new poles. And finally, we finished construction of a major tie line between two circuits in Kingsland. This allows us to more rapidly respond to line outages in that area. This project required 1/2 mile of new line and 9 poles. In 2015, we completed the field work for our GPS pole numbering project to update our mapping system. This gives us much more detailed and accurate information to operate our system. We also spent more than $1.6 million to re-clear right-of-ways throughout the system. All of these efforts improve safe working conditions for our linemen and helps provide reliable power to you, our member owners. One of the biggest highlights of this report is that through June of this year, we worked 2.5 years without a lost time accident. This streak of over 1,000 days and more than 716,000 hours recently came to an end when an employee had a minor leg injury that caused him to miss 3 days of work. Our streak has since restarted, and we hope to be able to add another 365 days to that record by our annual meeting in 2017. No accidents means that our employees are working safely and go home each night to their families without injuries. This is the #1 daily goal of your co-op team. It also means that our costs are reduced through lower insurance premiums, with the savings passed on to our members. Of all of the subjects we have discussed tonight, the co-op safety record is the thing that we're most proud of. It is proof of how highly we value the men and women who work for you. Now to a different type of building project that is also currently underway at your co-op. Last fall, your board of directors approved the construction of a new district facility in Mason and a new operations center in Fredericksburg. The total estimated cost for these two projects is $13.2 million. This certainly sounds like a good deal of money, and it is. But when you look at the size of this operation and the number of employees that work out of these centers, it is obvious that something needs to be done and that now is the time to do it. The Mason office has been at its current location for over 40 years and does not meet many requirements for public buildings that are in effect today. The Fredericksburg Operations Group has also been in the current facility for over 40 years, and it has simply been outgrown. Our vehicle maintenance area is outdated, inefficient, and presents many safety concerns for your employees. The new facilities we are currently constructing will give your employees the technical and working conditions to operate a more complicated, robust electric system. Your employees are excited about the opportunity to become a more efficient organization that will better serve our members. Yes, this is a big investment, but these facilities will equip your co-op with the tools necessary to meet the expectations of our growing membership.
At Central Texas Electric, we do our best to make sure that we have a positive impact on our communities. This is done in several different ways. The scholarship program is now in its 19th year and has awarded 509 scholarships, totaling over $500,000 to members or children of members. None of this money is from your electric bill. It comes from uncashed capital credit checks. Visit our website to learn more about the eligibility requirements and application details. Once again this year, CTEC sent 3 local high school students on the youth tour. This trip has been an annual event for more than 50 years. The youth tour is a week-long trip to Washington, D.C., where young people get to see their government in action. Our students joined a group of more than 125 other Texas students for this once-in-a-lifetime trip. Operation Roundup is a voluntary program where CTEC members can round up their monthly electric bill to the next whole dollar. The average contribution is only 50 cents a month, but these small donations have allowed the program to award grants totaling $118,000 to local families and organizations. If you sign up for Operation Roundup anytime between now and Labor Day, you will be entered into a drawing to win one of 3 $100 bill credits for new participants. On your way out tonight, stop by our Roundup table and join our effort. You could also call or email any of our offices and simply tell them to sign you up. And if you're already a participant in Operation Roundup, tell your friends and neighbors about it. It's a wonderful way for neighbors to help neighbors. SmartHub is an app that helps you monitor your account on the go. It gives you the ability to check daily, weekly, or monthly usage. One great feature is the ability to compare your daily electric usage to the weather conditions experienced on a particular day. With SmartHub, you can pay your electric bill, set up recurring payments, or view your payment history. The SmartHub is a free app and can be downloaded to your smartphone, tablet, or desktop computer. Over 4,500 CTEC members are using it today. At Central Texas Electric Cooperative, we believe that good communication is a two-way street, which allows us to keep our members informed about what is going on at their co-op and listen to the ideas and concerns that are important to them. There are several ways that this is accomplished. The Texas Co-op Power Magazine, CTEC website, and our Facebook page keeps us in contact with members. This is in addition to the 6 district meetings where members hear firsthand from co-op directors and employees, and the annual meeting that you are attending tonight. Another tool that we use every 3 to 4 years is a survey which is called the American Customer Satisfaction Index to find out what is on our members' minds and measure their expectations and satisfaction of service. Last year, 400 CTEC residential members received a phone call and participated in response-driven questions centering on the cooperative's performance and quality of service. As the old saying goes, you cannot please all the people all the time. But in this year's survey, which was conducted by a third-party polling and research firm, your cooperative really came close to achieving that. When compared to other electric utilities, Central Texas Electric Cooperative did very well. Municipally owned electric utilities had an average score of 68. Investor-owned utilities had an average score of 72. Among all electric cooperatives, the average score was 77. Now, get ready for this, because this is something we are very proud of. Your electric cooperative scored an 87, which we have been told ranks in the top 5% of electric cooperatives nationwide. On behalf of your co-op team, we would like to thank our members for their feedback and support. This particular survey allows companies to compare themselves to other industries. Here is how your co-op compares to a few business names you will recognize. Walmart scored a 68. Coca-Cola scored a 79. HEB scored an 83. Amazon, the online retail giant, scored an 83. And Southwest Airlines scored an 80. So to wrap this up, we want to say thanks again for the support you have shown us. Be assured that we will not rest on our laurels, but continue to provide you with reliable, low-cost electricity and customer service that is second to none.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's report and concluded that your co-op team is working hard for you. Above all else, we are member-focused, which means we are accountable to those we serve. Your cooperative is a unique organization that is a valuable asset to this part of the Hill Country. It's been my pleasure and honor to lead Central Texas Electric for the past 2 years. I hope that you are proud of our accomplishments and believe that we own one of the very best electric cooperatives in the state of Texas. On behalf of your co-op team, I want to thank you for attending your annual meeting tonight. We encourage each and every one of you to stay connected and contact us anytime you have a question. We're always here for you.